if you want to.
We are tWoTcast episode 332.
All right, everyone, shut the fuck up.
Wheel of Time, reread podcast, explicit and R freaking rated. John is the wild card, always talking shit. Joe's the straight man, he's a total dick. Tom calls in if he's not too busy. We are tWoTcast!
You're viewing and or listening to tWoTcast, the Wheel of Time reread podcast, now covering whatever we want that's loosely related to the Wheel of Time. And tonight, that is the Wheel of Time companion. And today's episode is brought to you by the letter H. With me, as always, is Jono.
Jono.
Oh, hey, Jono.
Hey,
everybody.
Hey.
And I'm Joe, and Tom is frequently here too, and is also tonight and currently muted, but also waving, so that's good.
Study your math.
There you go. Hey, boys.
I can never get over the Sesame Street type introduction and then the profanity that follows.
Yeah, that's par for the course, I think.
Yeah,
childish and profane. I think that sums us up very well.
Oh, yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. We should have been doing this the entire
I love
time.
We have a very special guest here with us tonight, I think. Right?
Oh,
more so
we bring them on in?
More so than normal.
Yeah, I feel like nobody's here to see us tonight.
No one's here to talk to us or see us.
No, not even for a millisecond.
All righty here. Well, you guys know the innkeeper of the Dusty Wheel Show, keeper of all the theories. He comes, Matt Hatch. The Dusty Wheel Show.
He comes.
He comes. I love that entry. That's really good.
I think it's good. I think it's appropriate. I like how the reason you're here is for H, but that's not in your name.
That's true. That's true. You'll have to, if you don't know why, you'll just have to guess. Maybe you should look it up in the companion. Maybe that's what you should do.
I mean,
he comes. H. Gotcha.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Thank you guys for having me. This is awesome. It's good to be.
That half with an H.
It's good to be back. Yeah.
Well, good to be back, but I mean, this is like a proper episode. You know, like you're in the manor house right now. Before you were in like the weird garden where we just got drunk and fell over each other in a live amphitheater of sorts.
Jordan Con was one of a kind. That was amazing.
I'll have to take your word for it.
Yeah, Tom has no recollection of
that. That was actually something that I want to. I'll be in the audience next year.
Or in the hallways.
Yeah.
I hadn't been to JordanCon in years, and I was just like, well, I'm just going to drink like I did 5 years ago. And
I'm still not sure I saw you there, Tom. But
can't do it anymore. You didn't see this version of me, that's for sure.
That's true. That did not happen. And of course, as the title card says, legend of the Wheel of Time amongst the fans and anybody who loves this show, editor of the Wheel of Time, Harriet McDougal is here.
Woo!
Yay, Harriet!
Everyone's clapping. You better be clapping.
If the internet could clap for you, Harriet, they'd be clapping.
Well,
Harriet,
it's good to be here.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
And
I mean,
sorry for
this is
Joe
the
leaving
first-
you behind for 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Backstage.
How rude of me.
Yeah.
You need to give her a grand entrance, Jono.
So, Harriet, this companion, you've heard of it?
Yeah. That big fat book.
Yeah, that's a good book.
Well,
Well, you're just agreeing with me, huh? It's a big
no. No one's allowed to disagree with you. First off, just in general, but especially not about the material within this book.
I don't know. My companion's been working out. It's lost a little weight.
Oh yeah,
Not that bad.
at least something is.
He's trimmed down a little bit. Every time we cover a letter, I just rip that letter out completely. So there's not much left.
You probably have
You
to
got some
buy a
there's
new
book.
copy.
Well, I can't do that.
What's an act of friendship?
That's right, everybody. Right now, go buy your friends a copy of the Wheel of Time
Yeah.
Companion.
Yes,
Make
that's
it happen. Make
Go
it
buy
happen.
yourself a second copy.
Yeah.
I actually didn't buy this one. Harriet sent it to me. Is that better? Mine's better than yours. You know,
So you should be buying two then.
And you're
I
ripping
should
pages out of
buy
it?
it. I mean, yes. So tonight we're covering the letter H, guys. You want to talk about some entries on the letter H tonight?
Absolutely. Harriet, did you do your reading?
Oh,
We-
I'm assuming Harriet has every entry in this entire book memorized.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we really get into the companion real quick, first of all, spoilers, because this companion covers the entire Wheel of Time series. So if you have not read it, you might want to not listen to this. But also, our lovely, talented friend, Taffy Benetton, made us an amazing intro song to the Wheel of Time companion.
I forgot
Play
about
that.
this. I'm so excited.
Toboggan in the sky, but if it's injured, it won't fly. Take a look, it's in the book, a Wheel of Time companion. Friends can go anywhere, but he has to know the embarkation to go and open a portal. Mad jokes about anything. Martin Daly's cards on page 95, the Wheel of Time companion. Because we'll read them now and take to the Patreon.
I mean, that's
Amazing.
fantastic.
That's amazing. If you
All
are not
right.
donating, if you're not donating to this Patreon and buying your friends a copy of the Wheel of Time Companion, I don't know if you're actual fans of the book. So I don't know.
Yeah. I
Look, if
agree.
you don't walk away from tonight spending at least $100, what is the point?
Exactly.
All right, what do you guys want to discuss in H?
Well, I feel like we have a
us off or
special
Jono?
guest.
Yeah. Who is
We have a
that
special guest on.
with a tail?
Oh,
that's
that's my
Tom's
arm.
lower half of his body.
Yeah, that's.
That's
Oh, wait.
I'm a dog tar.
What is this person named?
This is my dog Frankie that's insisting that I throw her the ball during the show.
Huh?
I'm a bit disappointed
you did
that
it to
you
yourself.
used an H name there, Tom. You should have switched to H
Frankie?
name. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
it's
I mean,
it's Hanky.
Or Ranky.
You have a beautiful wife, Tom. You really do.
You could say he's a hound.
Yeah.
there you go.
Ooh.
That
Yeah.
made a lot more sense.
Yeah.
That's my
It's almost
hound
like you
Ranky.
edit books for a living.
Yeah.
This is a better word for that sentence, Tom.
Did I just
Here's
get
my
live?
notes.
Harriet just live edited me on the show.
Like Dan in chat said the H is silent. I like it.
Yeah. My speech just got red pens and sent back to me to redo.
If Harriet were to actually edit this show, it would just be a sea of red, just a big, just like I'm out.
Yeah, it would just be like, Jono, hello. And then that would be the whole that's the whole show.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
All right, Tom, you wanted to start us off with an H?
Oh yeah, well we have somebody here with us, Harriet. That's who I'm talking about. But no, one of my favorite entries in the book is somebody that we all know and love. If everybody wants to turn to page 319 and look at the entry for the Happy Throng, we know this person in real life. It's about Jason Denzel.
Nice.
It's very rare to cover someone whom we know, and that's very exciting.
Yes, and if you look at the entry specifically, it says Master Denzel was its innkeeper.
Yeah.
So I think we're looking at innkeeper Denzel. Does that seem right to everybody?
Yeah.
That's
I'm
true.
not sure it seems right. There's another innkeeper in Camelin here. But anyways, yeah, sure. Cover the one at Happy Throng. That's cool. That's fine.
Is there another one?
I mean,
Wait,
that's
wait,
fine.
is there another?
No, look, I think that's fine. Jason's cool. I like Jason. So.
Yeah.
We were
Well, we don't
considering.
have anybody for I next week, Matt. So you and Jason can come on and have like an innkeeper battle.
That's a good one.
We were just considering seeing if we could get you to storm off the show in the first 5 minutes. But let's
Someone we
really-
know and love, Jason Denzel.
I felt it.
But in reality, let's flip to page 322. There's an entry that just says Hatch.
Ooh, this sounds like an important entry. I don't know.
I have to say it's probably one of the coolest things ever for you, Jason, to have your own entry in the encyclopedia. Obviously, we haven't gotten to the T's yet, where we'll probably find ourselves. I'm assuming.
Yes.
But that's,
Do not
yeah.
listen. That's it.
Yeah.
Harriet.
Harriet obviously is one of the editors. I mean, like it's. What were you thinking when you put him in? Why?
What?
What were you thinking when you put Matt Hatch into this book?
Yeah.
Mistake, I would assume.
Well, he had to be there.
Yeah. See, Jono? Yeah.
There's
Exactly.
no being outside of that.
Yeah, and he has a special cudgel for Jono. That's what he has a special cudgel for. Yeah.
The second most okayest innkeeper in Camelin. That's a dig at you, man.
Yeah.
insult on
He's one
multiple
of my mods. I get it. He's here to dig.
Harriet, you've got a second. I have a fan email from someone named Alan Romanchuk. He's got some questions for you. He says about Hinderstadt.
Huh?
About Hinderstadt, the town from the Brandon Sanderson last 3.
Yeah.
So he says, so the people of this unassuming Mirandian town go mad after sundown and kill each other, only to wake up fine in their beds the next morning, a cycle that repeats itself nightly, situation caused by a bubble of evil. In A Memory of Light, Matt has the Hinderstappians attack Dreadlords at a dam built on River Mora at Marilor as a Trolloc crossing. And they are, of course, killed by the more experienced nasties, but they're resurrected the next morning, and Grady brings them back by Gateway, bloodthirsty and angry, to face their killer and battle again and again and again. There are a couple problems, according to Mr. Romanchuk. One, these villagers are goat farmers, not trained soldiers. They only go to a frenzy at night. They're facing the dark forces in daylight. They would be inconsequential during the day unless someone needed a goat milk smoothie. 2, why would they go after dreadlords and Trollocs in a schizo rage when they're used to savaging one another? Please explain. Alan Romanchuk.
Interesting.
I couldn't begin to explain. He doesn't have the proper clearance.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
All right, perfect. Perfect.
Matt and Jason need to gain more weight to be trustworthy innkeepers. You hear that, Matt? You got work to do.
Look, I blamed it on the pandemic, but it was really about trustworthiness. So, look, I tried.
Yeah, you know you're a liar and a thief and a cheat, so you got thin. I know it. I know what's going on.
Yeah, these cheeks are all about thinness. That's what they're about.
Harry, was it always that hard to work with Alan? Was that email representative of what it was like just being stuck with him day to day?
I didn't quite hear everything you said, Tom. Repeat.
Was it always that hard to work with Alan? Was that email a representation of what it was like being with him all the time?
No, it was wonderful working with Alan.
Oh, that's not what we wanted to hear.
Maria or Harry, you can tell
Very
the truth.
good. He was very good, and I miss him a lot.
Well, he's only he's only in Philadelphia. That's a 12-hour drive.
Yeah, that's right.
For him, you mean?
Yeah, for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's 8 hours.
Oh,
yeah, she's way faster.
I fly low.
Gateways.
And nobody's taken my keys away yet. So I'm
Harriet's skimming there. I like it.
Yeah.
You leave.
Smart call.
You leave right after the show. You could be there first thing in the morning for breakfast.
Yeah. Just knock on his door. I heard that email you sent, Alan. I don't like it.
Well, I don't know. We've got you on the show. Are there any, kind of what was the, creation idea for the companion? Or do you want to just go through random entries? I don't know which one you prefer. And I don't know what,
Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time that
Mm-hmm.
Jim signed the contract.
And then you were stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Doherty wanted us to convert it to, I don't know, the first of the sequels.
Oh, wow.
No,
Interesting.
Jim really didn't want that to happen.
Yeah.
So we didn't do it. So we did the companion.
The companion. I honestly, we had literally read the companion from cover to 329 so far, and so far, there's things in this in this companion that aren't really in the books themselves, which makes it revelatory to read. There's things that are put there that I can't remember, and I've only read the series a dozen times, so not too much. And it's just one solid effing place to come grab it all, and it's pretty damn cool. So I'm really glad you did it.
I'm glad to hear that.
And
Did you just censor yourself?
Yeah, I'm not drunk enough. Yeah, give me a second.
Harriet's the only one you'll do that for, apparently.
That's correct. Yeah.
I actually put a poll up in chat that says how many inappropriate comments will Jono say in front of Harriet, and the running answer is 1 to 50 right now, but we'll see how it goes.
1 to 50. That's a
You don't
really
want to put
broad.
a cramp in your
Well,
style.
0, 1 to 50, 51 to 100, an infinite amount. Those are the choices. I thought everyone would just answer an infinite amount because we all know that's the answer.
I don't know. I think when we're talking to Harriet, I think we're on our best behavior.
Yeah.
As it is.
I remember you were on the
best we
show
can
one
do.
time at Jordan Con, and we kind of was like, I will. Like you kind of just looked at me because I was trying to control myself. You're like just shaking your head and just act yourself, which I don't know how to do either. My entire
Harriet,
act.
speaking of Jordan Con, we missed you at Jordan Con, Harriet.
Yeah. I know.
Are you ever going to come back down again, or are you just, I'm out?
I don't think so.
Okay. Good to know.
But
News, you've heard it here
good
first.
wishes on the breeze. Always.
Of course, yeah.
Harriet,
Well, I'm
how
glad
was it-
we got the chance to spend
Yeah.
some time with you down there
And
over the years.
Maria really enjoys.
Oh, yeah. We
Really
love
enjoys
seeing
it.
Maria.
Well, she gets
How are
really
the,
drunk and says some insider secrets.
Huh?
A lot.
Yeah, Maria gets really drunk and starts telling all the secrets of Team Jordan. It's a great time.
I don't believe a word out of it.
That's correct. Yeah. You caught me.
Harriet, how are the guest rooms in the house? Can we come bring Jordan Con to you?
There's one guest room.
All right. Does it have 3 bunk beds?
No. It has 2 single beds.
All right, Jono, you're on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. We can make
Yeah,
that work.
that's not a problem at all.
There is a good deal of floor.
Then there you
Okay.
So,
My wife offers me the same, so all right.
There, I see.
Well,
Dude.
speaking of my wife, I will read entry 328, Honey Kissers. So I was reading this, and I think you've met my wife, Shanda. And she said to ask you advice for honey kissing, because apparently I don't know where that is and how to do it well. What is honey kissing?
We just edit things. We don't know how to do them.
Oh,
The secret lies with Rudy.
that is the best answer.
Tell her you just need to practice a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
It'll come.
Okay.
Yeah, Jono, it'll come to you.
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
And with that, I think I might.
Call it a night.
Yes.
I think this,
Oh,
you're
Jono,
ending
look
on a
what you
high note,
did.
Harriet. It's a good thing to do.
That's the perfect way out at this point.
Thank you.
Harriet, thanks so much for being on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Of course.
We love you.
It's great to see you.
We love you, Dad.
You too.
Have a good night.
Terrific.
See you
I
soon.
love your yard, Tom.
Oh, thank you, Harriet.
Take
Have a
care.
good night.
Good night. Thank you.
You too. Good night.
Bye bye.
So,
that
Way
was
to scare her
lovely.
away, Jono. Jeez, man.
well, I mean, question for the group. She said she could give us 20 to 30 minutes, and she pretty much tapped out of just over 20 minutes. But was it because of the 20-minute mark, or was Jono's question?
Jono's question.
It's Jono's question. I think that's where you always go. Is that even a question? Oh my. That was awesome to do.
Yeah, it's always great to see her. It was it's a bummer she's not able to come to JordanCon anymore or anything like that.
Well, they haven't taken her keys yet, so maybe we tell her, kind of like see what you can do.
Yeah, I think she can get to JordanCon from Charleston in about 48 minutes.
Apparently.
Let's do
I
that
think you
real
need, to run
fast.
you need to run another poll, Joe, and end that one and ask if Harriet left because of Jono. I just think it's important to know what the crowd thinks at this point. That's what it's just.
All right. Well, let's get to it then. All right. No more of this bullshit.
You want to cover some? You want to cover some entries?
I want to cover some entries.
Yeah.
I want to get back to page 314.
All right.
Wow.
Lord Hachari, or Hachari, Lord. I don't know why, but we still had questions to bring up about the usage of comma and what wasn't, but that's all right.
We're never going to ask that.
Hachari Lord, one of the Saudis who, along with his wife and another couple, met with Taim under the parley flag and tried to kill him with daggers. He and his wife were rendered unsuited for anything other than serving others after the encounter. What does that mean? And why are you laughing already, Matt?
Because it's a Jono question.
It does.
I mean, does it mean their minds were ruined, or they failed and everybody was
But
just
it was
like
by pain.
observant?
So it's not like it's a at the time compulsion or anything like that. I really don't know. It's a good question.
I know it's a good
Obviously,
question.
whatever fuckhole you want to play it, like I'm fine with that too. But I really just don't know.
I mean, I recall Bashir discussing it, but I don't remember the finer details. I think it comes up when Tame shows up in Camlin the first time.
Yep.
Yeah. But
I look this up.
Harriet totally
Dan?
knows how to honey.
Dan, let's keep things appropriate.
Yeah, Dan's here.
Hat match. What do you think?
Well, now I want to look it up. Now I want to know the answer. It's got to be somewhere.
I was going to find it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cheating.
Do you want me to give you you want me to give you guys a one-off?
What are you asking Matt Hatch to theorize about something? It's
Seems like something you would have to do.
Let me give you guys a one-off on the same page while Matt looks this up. Are you ready?
Go
Yeah,
for
sure.
it.
I just wrote on page 314. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
Is it the
Oh,
most
yeah.
common?
There's three. There's three hats.
I barely
Well,
had any time to look, and they're all associated with Perrin and his little Two Rivers army too.
But here's the real question. All right, had number 1, had number 2, and for some reason the third one gets his own singular entry.
Yeah, that was interesting. I thought
If
the
they
first-
just said same guy, fuck it.
it's not.
I know. Like, why is there a second one, a boy from Two Rivers, and then a Two Rivers man? Like,
Maybe
convention.
maybe if your
Or
name is
off.
Had when you're young, you don't get a surname, and then if you become a Two Rivers
Yeah,
man,
there's just too many of them.
then you get to
Lots of them
man
are going
life.
to die at a young age. You know,
Yeah.
sheep shearing accidents of sorts. You know,
yes, sheep shearing accidents. That's how.
yeah,
they
that's what I said.
I'm gonna have to go
Well,
with.
that's
I'm gonna have to go with the answer, John, for the last one. Compulsion. It looks like.
But by Tame?
All right.
I mean, he says all they'll really want to do now is serve and obey. They won't be happy otherwise. So, I think the happiness tied to the need to do something sounds like compulsion.
That does sound
Yeah.
right. The way
But
it's
this-
phrased.
So I guess to Matt, to your point, it could be like one of those. That was the kind of
Sure.
apparently Italian here, like one of his first talents, right? Was just being able to tell someone what to do, kind of thing. Because they all have something weird they start off with.
Yeah. By the way, the entry is much better than what the book. He and his wife were rendered unsuited for anything other than serving others after the encounter. Is a much more fun, speculative than what we get in the book.
Unsuited, for God's sake.
Maybe they were naked. There's a dog on the shoulder.
She's trying to eat raindrops.
I want to know how many fans have named their kid after Had. You know what I mean?
So it had to be a lot.
There's 3 of them. So
Yeah, and there's at least 3 people out there that have named their child Had.
If you guys think that's crazy, can you jump to page
Hadway.
330 real quick and
Oh.
look at Hugh? There's even more of them.
I don't know why.
I
was
love that
What?
Tom and I
My
have the
God,
same
there is a
notes.
lot.
Oh, there are lots of Hughes, right?
I was sandbagging you when I said Had was the most popular name. It's not.
Well,
even-
I like the first Hugh for sure. By far.
No, I was gonna ask Harriet about it. I was gonna say, like, hey, I told this joke to my wife. She wouldn't put out for 6 months. Do you remember how Rand asks it? Like he's just like they're like making fun of his humor, and he turns around and he tells
Yeah.
us like a man named Hugh, like the weirdest "why is it at the top of your head" joke, and he.
I do not remember that.
I think it's in book 6, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. A joke is never going to
Few
work
amounts of Hugh.
if you tell it out of if you tell it out of anger or spite. That's basically what Rand was doing in that moment. It's like you don't get my Hugh. I'll show you a
It's-
joke.
Humor. Like the
yeah.
2 maidens look at him like, is the joke about the water? Is it about this? And they're just like very confused because it's an awful joke.
All
Any
right,
more
Innkeeper,
Hugh?
what do you have for us?
All right.
By the way, Hugh, what I loved about, on a more serious note, I love that Jordan does this because it's one of the things
Yeah.
that makes his world like real because there's lots of people with the same name. That sounds absurd, but like I don't know how many.
No, I
Is
agree.
it
I like
normal?
that too.
I'm trying to think of like fantasy series out there to have just like 4 Hughs and 3 Hads. You know what I mean? Like just random. Like I don't know if it's like
Just
it's
in the
brilliant.
letter H, there's multiple
But
people
it's
named
brilliant.
the same name.
It's brilliant because on the one hand, you know, we always talk about how there's like so many named characters, but if you just like
Mhm.
just keep repeating the same name, then you don't have to make up as many. So
It's
It is,
he's working on his
Hugh
own
and Had are
12
as
days
common as
podcast.
Joe and Tom.
It's pronounced Ho.
Wait, am I supposed to change my name to Hom?
Who's on first? Come on, Tim.
Oh no.
Oh goodness gracious! All right, what do we got, boys?
okay.
We got some entries and not a lot of pages of H.
I have a
so
lot
I was-
of notes.
I do too. Tom, after you, or Matt.
I mean, I'm a fan of the entry on 326. Herod fell.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Scholar at Rand School in Kyrian, author of Reason and Unreason. He was stout with gray hair and asked him for help in figuring out how to steal the boar. He was murdered by a golem to stop him from talking to Rand. Fell provided
Mhm.
clues that helped Rand when he removed the taint from Sidene and during a struggle with the Dark One, the last battle. I mean, this guy is obviously like key to the
Yeah.
entire-
Yeah,
to the
Yeah.
to two of the most major important things Rand had to figure out, and it's just like scholar dudes that he ran into.
I loved him in the books for some reason.
He was
I
delightful.
think maybe Rand's affinity for him, just like immediately trusting him, and it was during his like I'm super crazy phase, or maybe it was that, I don't know. And
Yeah.
maybe Min loved him a lot too, so like maybe that was part of it. But
Yeah.
loved Herod Fell.
Yeah,
It's also important to note that there were 2 Herods. Look one above it.
oh my god.
Not to be confused with the dark friend wagon driver.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, Herod Fell is not in the books for long, but he's clearly indelible. Both, like, because like Mint has his books like all the time. She's reading him in book 9 when they're in the middle of farmatting. Like, there's all this like everything about him, and he's so just delightfully just bumfuddling, like trying to smoke a pipe that's not lit, that's not even like doesn't have active tobacco in it, like just like awkwardly
I've got
like, harvesting
I
a
got a
boner around her, like yeah.
I've got a question for you though. If you read the entry for Herod the wagon driver, doesn't that seem like the origin story for Herod Fell the philosopher?
Never right. He just ran away. I don't.
He
I don't
went
hate
through the doorway. He was never right in the head again. He ran away when they got to Karheen. You never saw him again. Then all of a sudden, I mean, that could be the same person.
No, because I do remember how they described him as being pretty muscular because he was one of the wagon drivers. On the other hand,
Oh, Herod Fell was
Yeah, but
ripped.
once-
You guys,
yeah, but-
like cut from marble. You
Once
didn't
you
know
go crazy, you let yourself go.
I like this as an origin story.
thanks, Joe.
Yeah,
Cut from marble
I-
reference.
I enjoy this theory, and I'm going to adopt it
Die
as,
with it.
canon.
Dark friend turns.
Every hue and every hat is related. Every Herod is too.
I mean,
Yeah.
imagine how pissed off he had to be to solve the taint and the sealing of the boar. So
I think falling halfway
Yeah.
through the red doorway and then being dragged out is the
He
equivalent
saw some
of
shit.
6 years of college of doing acid inspection. You come right out of the doorway with a lot of ideas about the Dark One's prison.
Maybe he briefly asked some questions, but because he was already halfway in, he was just pulled out instantly and just like had the answers and was just trying to get high afterwards.
definitely.
Like, I think it's just something to explore.
Did you say Karheen, Tom?
I said Karheen. The word car and the word heen. Everybody knows those two.
That happens.
That's how it's said. I think that's how it's pronounced.
I want to go back to the beginning because that's how I do this stuff. On page 314, I was actually going to ask this to Harriet, but I think that we scared the shit out of her too early.
I think she graced us with her presence a lot longer than she should have.
No, by
Yeah,
definition,
the opposite.
Any at all. Page so Haddon and Kadir, the other Had. In book 1, there is like as far as like indelible memories to me, like the first time reading, just how creepy, suspenseful, and gross that whole feeling was of like Haddon Kadir's there as well as Samuel Goat and all that shit going on. And I would dearly love, I write that. Oh, Haddon Kadir, I'm on the wrong one. Not Haddon Kadir. What am I? Haddon Kadir is the
What
creepiest
are
one.
you talking about?
I'm thinking about it later on.
It's like, where's this going?
I'm at I've got my notes messed up. What's his name? Fuck my ass.
Oh yeah,
Samuel
what's his
Lake.
name? Yeah. Oh, Sam Lake.
Yeah.
Why do I have Hake in here? What am I doing?
Well,
Howell
under
goes.
S.
God damn it. That's why.
gosh.
Because
I was like, where are you going with all this? Samuel Hake would be. It would if Hake is in this entry, it would say Hake, Samuel. See Samuel Hake.
Samuel Hake. It does actually. I'm sorry. I did these while drinking. Never a good sign. Let's go back to Haddon Kadir, who is also in his own right probably the creepiest dark.
No, finish your thoughts on Howell Gold. Let's talk about Howell Gold.
Yeah. That's cool. I already put everyone on 314. Let's stay there.
All right. Haddon Kadir then.
Definitely the best dark friend, really.
I love that guy as a dark friend.
Dolan Millar's the best. Best rapist, too.
He's the master rapist. There's a difference. He might not be the best.
We have to see Haddon Kadir in the show be skinned alive. Yes or no?
Oh, my God. Yeah, I was actually going to mention, I love how he dies. Lanfear literally makes a skin balloon.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
Like, it's insane.
I love it. It's very messed up.
She skins him and then, like, stitches him, I guess, closely enough and then blows him up. Because, like, it's...
I think she skinned him with the power. I don't think the skin was
You don't get
broken.
to see, like, the Forsaken really kind of just go wild and crazy with their power that often. That is one moment that just snaps one from
yeah,
like,
that one's
like,
and all he did was go, "Hey, Rand's with this chick."
Yeah, like where did you learn to weave to do the skinning? Is like
yeah,
that like
that's
part
amazing.
of the training.
Also, did she, as Jono said, did she sew up the orifices, or is she constantly having a flow of air going there to keep him inflated? That's my
question, right?
Wow.
I mean,
I hadn't thought about that.
We should have asked Harriet.
We should have asked Harriet.
These are the questions you need to start asking yourself, Matt.
By the way,
we'll email Alan.
Alan probably has an answer for that one.
What does Manfear do to his enemies?
Nothing really.
99 skin balloons.
Oh.
Get out of here.
Oh no.
That's a great Jordan Con memory of Tom bringing 99 Luft balloons to Germany.
I was walking back to
Oh
that.
man.
Yeah, you missed it.
I forgot based on your Twitter, Matt, from this week that we can literally cover anything that we want to as long as we put an H in front of it.
Exactly.
Tom, don't ruin the surprise for the Q entries.
Do you see how I got from Haddon Kadir to Lanfear? Like that's what's going to happen all night. Anytime that I can find an H word that takes us to Lanfear, I'm going to do it.
Oh no! Please don't take us off topic. We're never good at that. But let's get.
We try to run a really structured show.
I know.
Let's talk about page 316.
This has been very structured so far, by the way. Like I haven't ever sat
Is it
down.
weird? That's what I was saying. Like before, we were just having a wild party outside, and now you're inside the house, like hanging out. This is the cool party.
I have a book, and you guys are naming pages that I'm supposed to be reading in it, and then you're wanting to have like very like esoteric, deep discussion about it. Like this is my jam, man. That's
We're
what
giant book nerds who just get drunk. Page 316.
All right, Matt, we'll see you next week for Innkeeper.
Innkeeper. I want to talk about Han. Tom.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know, Matt, if you've read this book cover to cover. It's a legitimate question, Matt. Have you ever read this cover to cover?
Not this from cover to cover. Nope.
So Alvin Bunt is pretty much the reason why we're here.
That's
we
true.
didn't know what we wanted to cover next, and Tom was like, "We should do the companion." And he opened up. What was her name? Tom, do you remember still?
Adrian Bunt in the A's.
Adrian.
Yeah, I'll just let you read that.
Let's let Matt read it.
Yeah, let me get there here.
She's the beautiful reason we're here.
And I read that entry and decided that's when we needed to cover the companion.
And I'd always said it kind of as a joke because I always read
Yeah,
the glossary.
Oh yes, I see. Adriana Bunt, Almond Bunt's dead wife. Is that the?
Yeah.
That's the
But it
whole.
doesn't say like died in the last battle, like some of them do, or anything like that. It's just dead wife.
Dead
We're
wife.
just like
Yeah.
interesting. This is gonna be good.
There's going to be a lot of interesting.
That was our interest. Yeah, thank you, honest. Yeah, so Almond Bunt dead, Adrian Bunt dead. Han, his 15-year-old nephew, who made his own set of wooden teeth. So, round of applause for the guy.
You know what? No, what's interesting? We're finding more about Almond Bunt through his family members' entries.
You think
Apparently
you
he had
think
wooden teeth. I didn't know that before. It wasn't in his entry.
Do you think
Now I
Almond
know.
Bunt's wooden teeth were going to be strong enough to eat all those apples that Rand made?
No, absolutely
that
not.
farm for the end?
Oh,
No,
good
definitely not.
question.
He's going to have to cut those up and put them into a mush.
To remember, Almond Bunt's the person who finds him at the end of on the mountain, eating it with a blooming
Someone
mouth.
invented a blender in Harriet Fell's school and gave it to the Almond Bunts. Who's dead?
It's just Bunt's applesauce is what's on everyone's.
Yeah.
I would totally
It's
believe
like
that.
it's like Newman's Own, but
Yeah.
Knew it. Anyone else got anything besides It's not just me.
I can do it. I want to see if our guest has any before I just.
Yeah, let's
Pop along.
let's let Matt go.
Who?
Hashtag Billy Zane.
Ooh. Let's see. After Herod fell, there was one before that. Let me see if I can find it. If you have one, I will find my next one. If you have one, you can jump in.
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I've got a quick one. It's just on page 331. It's Huron, and my note just says sigh. 'Cause I'm sad he died, and kind of somewhat unceremoniously, just in a montage of characters that we know dying.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, if you were in that part of the last chapter, which only is 300 pages, probably not a good look for you because you're gonna die. There's like 7 little vignettes in a row that are just fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. You're like he's dead, fuck you, kind of thing. And it's
Honestly,
not fair.
Reading that book again recently, I was more curious about people's whose fates we didn't hear one way or the other, whether they lived or died. And that's what I've been searching the companion for those every time we get through it. I know I mentioned it
Call
before,
Harriet
but
again?
we have no idea if Amos lived or died.
Who?
Mm.
Oh, Amos. I heard anus. And I was
Famous Amos.
famous. Okay. that
Oh,
makes
famous
more
Amos.
sense. Famous anus. Yeah, we should just call Harriet again.
No, I do. I loved Huron for whatever, for the weird forced reason he was in the books was just to follow the horn.
Well, he had
he's-
that moment where Rand almost killed him, and then
Yeah.
Rand apologized toward the
And
end.
also,
too.
it was really cool. It was weirdly cool seeing him reconnect with Rand in the end of the series. I really liked that, even though it's not like something that needed to happen per se. I guess.
Yeah, they brought him back to bond him with the Shenarians, and then they were like, "Well, since he's here, let's go ahead and kill him."
Yeah. He died helping to repel a Trolloc attack on Palav Heights during the last battle.
Whoa, what?
Doesn't Rand see him die
Palav.
like when he's pushing the Dark One back with his in his weird thought bottle?
I think he does. Hold on, I'm checking an email from.
I'm pretty sure he does. I think he looks like it's like his perspective. He's like looking down at the battle and he's like seeing different people and what they're going through. And I think Huron's one of them. So I think he dies in the book. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm never mistaken.
Oh, yeah, that's correct. So yes, that's true.
That's what I meant to say.
Matt, you got your entry?
Yeah, let's do this one. Obviously, you can't do an H show without heron marked sword, of course.
Yeah, no, Heron actually.
Yeah, a heron engraved on a sword blade indicated the sword's owner was a blade master. Tam's sword had a bronze heron visible on the hilt and another one on its black scabbard. See blade master. So, what did you feel about that in the show? Did you like the portrayal of the heron and how they did it?
I don't know if I did or not. I'm thinking. I haven't contemplated that
I know
the
you
show
missed,
portrayal of it.
you missed Hano's response to that.
Well, I deferred to the audience behind me,
I got you.
and they said nothing.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead, Hana.
No. No. I mean, like the thing is, like, no. We'll just leave it at that. No. Like it felt like something that was like so
I
easily.
know Tom's answer.
All right.
Very easily done. It just
Tom's
kind of
a known hater of all things show. Matt.
I see. Now I know when I need a question answered with no.
Also, Sherbert Mango coming in here with that. Ooh, sword forms. That's where my mind was going when you brought that up. But,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, we could have asked some good questions to Harriet of some sword forms.
Ooh, yeah.
John, I think the
Like
one
what?
inappropriate question you asked her was more than enough.
I'm also glad you didn't follow Dan's advice and ask and tell her the marmalade joke. Once, all right.
Ask her tomorrow. Go on, Joe.
Nothing. I'm just thinking about it. I think I like the sword in the show. It was good.
All right.
Yeah.
You don't
Well,
get
I
to
mean,
not.
I didn't like the way he wore it.
How
How
so?
about that? Yeah, it's too high. Weird.
His belt was way too high.
Low it is to his knees. Hat match. What did you think?
To what? The sword?
Yeah, you can't ask a question without having to answer your own. It's like come play.
Question. The heron on the sword, I thought was, there's like a moment in the first episode where they do like he's holding the sword, and it feels like a culmination of why they chose this, because he's holding the sword, right, and he has his hand around the hilt, and the camera does a zoom in to the sword, shows the heron on the blade itself, and it was like heron, and then it pulled back and caught him, and so it seemed like someone was like, we have to figure out a way how to show this thing, and then we're gonna show it. A little bit like too on the nose, and I don't know how else.
So
like,
it's not
visually.
the prop itself or how they portray the sword. It's just like that shot is like.
Yeah, that shot kind of gets me like.
How would you make that stand out otherwise? Yeah.
Right. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe like again, like he pulls the. I guess you could do like a zoom in as he's pulling the sword, but I guess in the case when he was fighting, you don't really have a lot of time to be like heron.
Did you see the outtakes though? So I don't know how much that was briefly on. I think they took it off. So there was a misunderstanding. They called it a Perrin mark sword, and there's just a picture of Perrin on it.
Oh man!
Wait, is that a sword that Perrin made in his blacksmith shop, or
It's been
Perrin marked that?
Wait, this is a genuine question on the show from White Shizzle. How does Rand beat Turok Dinosaur Hunter if Land never trains him?
Turok Dinosaur Hunter.
But I mean, he might maybe. I mean, we don't know that Land doesn't train him yet.
But that's
apparently
season 2.
A Paramark sword is one that you stab your wife with.
I think the assumption hat match is that that Rand is heading in a different direction and isn't going to be with them.
Right.
And that classic like training with Land at
well, that's speculation.
Isn't going to happen.
We don't know that for sure.
Yeah, it's an assumption, so we don't know. Yeah, maybe
We call Harriet.
Yeah, I'll call her.
Let's just
Alan,
consistently call her.
Or Johnny, you text Alan. I'll text Maria. We'll ask him.
So I'll text Harriet.
I feel like there's some really key H words that we're.
Well, all right. Let's jump to page 326 real quick.
Okay.
Well, we're on 326.
Well, it goes from there to 327 for the Heroes of the Horn. I don't think I ever knew this.
What the fuck?
When a viewer saw the dead heroes summoned by the Horn of Valera, he or she would know who each one was without being told. All that was necessary was to know some version of any legend or tale with which that hero was linked. I thought that was interesting. Is that
I've
laid out in the book?
I've never heard that in the book.
No, like there is technically like, hey, like I saw Birgit, who is also like bird fucker of Camera, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But like you don't know.
That's definitely never said.
You don't click on their Wikipedia profile because they just came out. Like it's very weird.
Well, what's weird? What's weird? Not that part's not weird to me. it's the follow-up sentence that says all that was necessary was to know some version of any legend or tale.
Yeah, that's the weird part.
So, like, you actually had to have heard, like, it wasn't like that you just saw the person. You had to have, like, had a name that
like
somehow,
a vague story.
like the wheel somehow connects the name in your memory to the actual person, but without it, nope. Which is
kind of like
strange caveat.
Any legend or tale with which the hero was linked.
What if you get it wrong?
Does that mean if I know like a Brigitte story, but I don't know anything about Geidel Kane, but then I see them both brought back to life, I'd immediately know who Geidel Kane was because I know a Brigitte story.
Oh,
but it's
because
not
he's
even
linked
like
to it.
Yeah, but not even like the viewer knew other names for him or her, even though they might come. So it's not even like if you had learned one, then you would like get the all of the knowledge in that moment. But it doesn't say here that you then forget it. So, you know, you could say that's how they pass on the legends is the way you pass on the legend is the wheel, right? You hear a name and then the wheel gives you information that you can tell about other names that the person had in other ages, which is the legend that other people hear to hear about the previous name that you had. So, yeah, I had not read this entry, so that's awesome.
But if you're like the one person that has never heard a story where she's named Brigitte and everybody else knows that, and they're all just like, everybody sees
and you're
her
like,
come back
I thought it was Bridget.
shoot a silver arrow,
and
and everyone's like, oh, it's Brigitte. And like, what are you talking about? That's Jenny from that one story where she shoots an arrow.
Jenny, done. All of a sudden, you know all of them.
That's true. It's like it says some version of any legend or tale with which the hero was linked. So basically, it's any story, any hero, you know, with Brigitte and with Geidel Kane. Like, then it's basically any love story where somebody picks the ugly dude as their companion. It's like then you'll know who they are when you see them.
What if you get it wrong, right? Wrong ugly dude, but you got it halfway right. Like, what's that do?
I have no idea.
It lends a lot of weight to like bards and gleemen for telling their stories and how the stories change down the ages, and like at least no matter what, like if you have any remotely recognizable form of the original story from hundreds of years ago.
My wife picked the ugly dude. Thank you, Emma.
The ugly died.
Fantastic comment.
You would know if you saw her in the air. You'd know.
It does make an
apparently Hesselum is the best H entry.
I laughed about it with under the Grendel entry, and I am fine with that.
Okay, let's go to Hesselum.
We don't often take suggestions from the crowd.
Oh, you know what? I mean, no one suggests things, so you know it's first time. Tom.
Old Tongue for Without Forgiveness, which is what. Never mind. It's the name given to Grendel after her failures led to her death and reappearance in her ugly body. Like, it's such a perfectly
It is good.
Yeah, it's such a perfect retribution for her. Just like, here's an old ugly bag for you to wear is really how she fucking felt, and she deserved it because she fucked up. How dare she fuck up Shaddar Haran? Or I'm sorry, Haran, Shaddar. See Shaddar Haran.
Do you think the term ugly body encompasses what she was portrayed as in the last book? Because I don't think it does.
Do you remember that picture that Tom drew of I forget what it was. Was it Varen or was it
I think it was
Hesselum. It was Hesselum.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Hesselum? We need that.
I have it somewhere.
Joe, you have that ready?
Drew an amazing picture of that.
You have that ready to throw on screen, Joe?
Not at all, but I could find it.
Yeah. Matt, let's see if you're. I assume it was yours. It could have been mine.
I just switched it to the laptop mic. I know it's not much better than this mic, but is it breaking up?
Still? Yeah.
No, that's better. There was some popping sounds coming through.
Yeah, there was some popping sounds. It sounded like it's just kind of like Tom in the morning after drinking.
You're just like anytime he moves any of his joints.
Do you think Grendel became much more effective once they put her in an ugly body because she became less obsessed with beauty and just more obsessed with actually doing her job?
No, it was after she died. I think she was the most effective at her job.
Yeah, I
don't know.
kind of agree.
Yeah. I don't know if
I feel like she got rid of all the bullshit and just went straight for, just started doing some horrible things. She was way more effective as Hessalam.
The way that Hessalam was Balefired is probably one of the darkest, most fucked up.
Wait, is she
amazing.
You're thinking of Mogideon.
Yeah,
that's she didn't even die.
Not Balefired. Didn't she get collared?
Oh wait,
that's like you guys are so
Aaron Gar, Ossengar.
Where she was as her stakeout was like in book 13, I think, when like her book 12, which is Balefires that entire.
But doesn't actually get Balefired, right?
Yeah, she survives.
Does she?
Quite seriously.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck yeah, she does. You guys drink too much. You know that?
I like any rumor that has to do with Grendel dying. So.
Pretty sure she died at Natron's Barrow. No, she did not. She jumped through a gateway. You're quite wrong.
It was frustrating that she didn't even die at the end of the book. She was just, think she was completely mind wiped, or did she?
Yeah, she was mind wiped by her.
She was like a drooling idiot, and she was with the Aiel Wise Woman. If I can.
Yep, we read that 2 weeks ago, and I remember it now.
Yeah. Is recovery possible for her in that situation, or that's over?
Only if she finds herself.
If Nynaeve heals her, sure.
Nynaeve, I like it.
Matt, you got another one?
Ooh, I had one. 1 second. Let me go back and find that.
This is the best podcasting ever, by the way, when we're all just silently flipping through books.
Well, I mean, I have a weird one that will require a little bit of reading.
Go for it.
While Matt's looking, if you have 317,
you read us the healing entry. Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, that says Nynaeve could restore Hessalam if she wanted to, I think is what it says there. Right?
Yeah, the healing entry, go on.
Tom, what were you going to say?
317 for Halwyn Nori. If you can get to the part where it says Nori had any number of clerks under him to actually wield pens, but on one occasion, what appeared to be an ink stain marred one of the edges of his scarlet tabard with a white line, and he clutched his embossed leather folder of papers to his chest as if to hide other stains. Are they implying that he was working against Elaine?
Oh, he's a serial killer.
He kills people with his.
What do you think? Where do you think he gets all that ink? It's just blood.
No, I just thought it was an interesting that it was like so clearly pointed out here, and I never picked up on that in the book. It almost made it seem like he was working against her somewhat.
I think the whole point is that he literally actually did the work himself, and therefore there was an ink stain of his own, which he tried to cover up. Or it's come.
I don't know. There's a little symbolism there too.
It's about time we had one of those, right?
It's basically it's implying that he's writing letters to people he should not be writing letters to.
To whom?
That's how I read it. I don't know. I thought it stuck out to me in the entries.
Just like a pen from a pants. Matt, you got your...
I do. Well, I didn't find the one, but I found another one here that I think is amazing. It's on page 317. I don't know how you pronounce this. Is it Halvate or Halvate?
Yeah, that's Halvate.
Halvate, whatever.
Halvate.
This is like a great entry. Tuan's brother. He enjoyed training Wildgrom. She was fond of him, but he was assassinated.
You're really getting to the heart of what we enjoy, Matt. Good job.
He enjoyed training Wildgrom. It's like this really sad note on this life, man. He's so happy when he was training the Wildgrom.
Yeah,
it made me sad because it really reads like it was her brother. He loved dogs. She loved him. He's dead.
There's no. Yeah, it's very much like a building fall off a fucking cliff.
I just got he enjoyed training Wildgrom. I'm like, that's sad.
I assume this is a reference to Halwyn Nori, but is that a pen in your hand, or are you just happy to see me?
Yeah, Matt, I definitely recommend reading this book cover to cover because there is the strangest entries that you'll
I know. I've missed out, man. I use this as a reference book for my theories, and not usually as like a just humor, kind of just like to be laughing. But
I mean,
I didn't realize
it's because the humorous entries never come up in your research. That's why.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. I'm looking at the wrong stuff, clearly. Because that
You
is
need to have just 1 or 2 whiskeys and then read through just one letter and be like, "This is ridiculous."
so
Listen,
good.
the viewers know, or listeners, we don't know. We'll table that. But Jono's been trying to, every time we would reread one of the books, Jono would always try to get us to read the glossary at the end, like half jokingly. He was very serious, but and we're always like, "Oh God, my God, we're not reading the glossary. You're out of your mind. We're done with the book. Moving on." And then finally, we're just like, and Tom goes, "What about the glossary? Look at Almond Bunt's dead wife." And we're just like, "I can't believe we're doing this, but okay, you just made Jono's entire dreams come true for the last
26 of them.
years."
Yeah.
So I have hold on. I have a really serious one. It's on.
Oh,
yeah.
goodness gracious.
323.
323, got it.
I keep hoping you're not.
I cannot believe that. Like, I want to know if like Maria, Alan, or if it was Harriet that was like, we have to give Hawkwing's Shield its own entry, but not like because it has like a name. You know what I mean? Like it was like whatever, like Calendor, sure, but it just says Hawkwing's Shield. Like I want to know if Hawkwing's Sword, whatever, like has its entry, because this is an alternate name. Now you're like, okay, that's cool. For the constellation known as, and you're waiting for something extremely like cool.
Very different.
Seriously, is the constellation known as the Shield? Like
It's one word.
Just the shield.
just the Shield. It's Hawkwing's Shield, and it's an alternate name for a constellation known as the Shield, which I think is like so.
Maybe it
amazing.
speaks to Hawkwing's like assholeness, like he's just like, I know everyone knows that constellation as just the shield, but what if we started
Well,
calling
Joe
it
just
my
outed
shield?
himself as a noble because the peasants loved Hawkwing, and Joe's a rich piece of shit.
It's just weird that it's Hawkwing's Shield. Like there's a constellation, and it's called Shield, but it's Hawkwing's Shield. I don't know. You feel like it's Shield. I don't know.
I weirdly just realized what I wanted was to get Harriet, Maria, and Alan together and get their notes for what was cut from this book.
It's only like it's one index card.
Matt,
There's
but Matt
just
Matt
like
pointed
2
out how
entries, and they're like,
ridiculous
we're
that is.
not
I'm
putting
like,
that in.
wait, what was left out? So
I
this
feel
was
like we
put in.
probably, I feel like we probably just abused our time with her. We should have done way better. As far as
Absolutely not, Jono. We're flawlessly good at our jobs. I disagree with you completely.
I don't
All
think
right,
she
well,
would have. I honestly think we did better than she would have ever expected.
Sure.
If you guys want to go to page 319, Jono brought this up earlier before we got on the show, but it's my favorite entry by far. Hand, comma, left. See left hand. What?
But
What?
What's funny about that isn't what you think.
Can't wait to get to L. It's going to be amazing.
I'm cheating. I'm gonna cheat. I want to know.
So
Matt, don't you spoil
Matt,
that for me, man.
I'm not backing
Whoa,
it.
whoa.
I just want to know. I want
Matt, you
There
can,
are
Matt, you
several
can
entries
cheat
like
and
that.
spoil it. You just have to call it heft hand.
Oh, left hand.
Damn, exactly.
What's weird about that is that there's no hand, comma, right. Like that's the thing that just like confuses me because I assume it's about Isengard.
My theory is that it's the hand Rand lost.
It's pretty
Am I
good.
right?
I love that theory. I love that theory.
I didn't anticipate it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Is it Isengard?
Is it-
Isengard?
It's not Rand's hand?
I'm not gonna tell you. Don't cheat.
I mean, I've got the fucking book.
He said, "Don't cheat."
Left hand better than right hand. That's it.
Do you guys want to talk about?
It's about sitting on your hand while jerking off.
That's a ghost hand.
This feels like an
Hawkwing's
appropriate-
shoes. It was a good year.
This feels like
We
an
already-
appropriate, entry to go with Tano's comment. It's on page 318,
Yes.
and we have.
Oh my god. You guys won't.
It's called Hammer, but it's called Seed of the Hammer, and this
Okay.
is descendants of Arthur Hawkwing, i.e., the Shanchan. The phrase was
Yeah.
used in the prophecy of the shadow written on the wall of the cell of Paddingfane and occupied in Faldara, the Seed of Hammer. So, there you go.
I bet they just felt uncomfortable putting that under seed.
I hope
They're like, let's leave it here. We change it for everything else, but let's leave that one here.
It made me want to go back and read book 2.
there are not many things that in a 14-book series I feel like you probably didn't explore enough. But Dark Prophecy was definitely one of those, like, as we saw on the walls of, in book 2, like, it's really not.
Wait, walls of comma what?
Vagina.
Okay. Oh, and Steve.
No age.
Yeah. Really worked that out.
Yeah. There's really not that much, like, there from Dark Prophecy's sake, and walls comma vagina. I guess walls comma vaginal. My fault. But I would have loved more of that had it been viable. Presumably not, because it's not there.
Hammer, comma, seed of the. We're confident that was written on the walls and fell there in blood, right?
Yeah, comma vaginal.
Okay.
Hal and Nori did it with his blood ink.
Well, I mean, it just the seed of. I wasn't sure if
Tom was trying to set up Jono.
Yeah, the seed of
it
cum.
really was. I wasn't. Well, I was trying to see if you thought Changu might have.
You jerked off?
Well, I mean, if he did that, it would have been head cum, and he would have swirled around in a bowl first. Then
Not a
dipped his
pin
face
seed.
in it.
Yeah.
Same page 318. Elder Hammond. I always
Wait,
forget.
Tom. I gotta interrupt
What?
you.
I hate it.
Our beloved friend Taffy Bennington just sent me sent me your picture of Hessalam.
She's got it.
I have no idea how she has it. I mean, it's not hard to find.
You.
What? Look at your drawing. The dress doesn't go down. There's cubes.
The dress can't get over her belly.
That feels like the most tWoTcast drawing I've seen.
I compulse you Aquaman style. Whoop, 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 whoop. That is the best thing I've ever seen.
What is the comment? Is that goo?
Yeah, I think it's just her.
I mean, she's brain dead. Just like, yeah.
She's getting compulsed. Oh man, that is fantastic.
That's one of the greatest drawings anyone's ever made.
Why isn't that in the companion as one of the illustrations?
I mean, it's absolutely
yours. Yeah.
No one's ever done a better illustration of Hessalam than that.
I don't think so.
It's real.
It's impossible.
Anyway, page 318, Elder Hammond. I almost want to read a book about him. I always forget that he's Loyal's uncle. He met the Green Man. He was the ferocious leader in the last battle. I'm just like, this guy was amazing.
He really was. Yeah.
His entry is incredible.
I still want to see eyes as large as teacups. I want to see what the fuck that was supposed to look like, because that's kind of frightening. Even in a 10-foot tall man, that's kind of frightening.
What's that one Muppet of Jim Henson's that's like 10 feet tall?
The giant monster guy?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
That's how an Ogier should look. What if it was just a Muppet running around? And then to make the Trollocs, they just added horns, so then it makes all the more sense when they're in Carhian and the puppet shows happening.
What if they do that for book 2? What if they use that actual Muppet for the fake Trollocs? And that would actually be a lot of money. I would love that.
Why? I don't know that I ever noticed. Do you remember these insects that it's referencing on 330?
What's the
100 heads, 100 legs, and 100 arms?
Yeah, there are 3 in a row that are fucking weird.
Covered in tentacles found in the bottom of ponds in Andor.
What?
100 legs is an insect with numerous legs, which I think is like right in the nose. 100 legs, however you want to think about it. And then
100 legs, that's just a sentence.
Tentacled creature found in the bottom of waterwood ponds is the 100 arms. I don't remember any of this stuff.
And 100
I feel like if that's mentioned, it's like really in passing.
I
had that in my notes under 100 whatever's page 330, and I did want that brought up because there's so many.
Could there be I feel like there's missing like a dash between 100 and arms. Like I don't understand why there's 100.
Yeah, everything else is dashed. Yeah,
they're all like creatures and insects, but the 100 arms is like no, that's singular.
No, you're mispronouncing that one. That's 100 arms.
100 arms.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
it's not two separate words.
This is. I am sad now that I haven't read this from cover. Like I don't feel like I know the Wheel of Time because whatever this 100 legs things is.
Matt, it's the one thing that we wanted to bring you on the show for, is to like make sure you understood that we could teach you a thing or two about
Joe, you're fucking ignorant. God damn it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
we-
this is live shows for years. Is all I'm saying.
Hey, listen, we know where.
It's fucking amazing. And it's hard to like, there's 4 of us on the show, and it's hard to like I don't know how much Harriet wants to talk about it, but realistically, like, why did you do this, and why did you do this in the way you did, and not in a like accusatory, but really like what was I kind of like I want to know things, right? Like I want to know what the fuck was your like plan, because there's so much weird shit, and I like that. Like, what made you want to put? I want to make sure that everyone knows the 100 arms, 100 legs, and where the dash is.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking love it. It's
I
the
feel
most.
like you should have thought of that before you asked her that question that she left off.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I was gonna make an eat pussy joke or a.
Wow. By the way,
the Oscar system.
6% of your
Yeah.
audience is delusional because they say she
Yeah.
left by choice. So
Oh, yeah.
Go the eat pussy joke. Yeah.
yeah, I have another one.
Your answer was a good one. Just try
All
getting
right,
your
well,
wife.
I mean, we're gonna end. We're the end of the poll is Jono says horrible things, 75%.
Yeah,
But not as often.
not a surprise.
Yeah.
Matt, seriously,
I was
though,
gonna
like
ask you
if you just
about-
read A through G, like you'll be amazed. And there's so many characters where you just assume you know what happened to them at the end of the book, and you're wrong.
Yeah.
You find out a lot about a lot of things.
Matt,
And to hear
did
all
you
those
read
things, listen to A through G.
Matt, did you read
And-
Healing on page 323 or
I've
324?
not actually read that whole entry. Is it something we should
Read
be
the
reading?
fucking entry right, goddamn.
Oh
No
my
kidding.
god.
Um,
It's very
apparently-
long.
there are multiple definitions of healing, which we knew, right? Not a problem.
Mhm.
My memory of healing, because they talked about how most how it's done is kind of like in the third age is very rudimentary, that kind of thing. It steals life force pretty much from the healee. Well, according to this, that's healing number 1. Healing number 2 takes place over like months or weeks. Very confused. It's very confusing.
Mhm.
And then 3 is for alleviation of pain, and 4 is what we see with Moraine. It's like none of it really matched up with my expectations for what was the original Age of Legends healing.
I like this. The second entry, like you said, I don't know that I realized or remember. I guess that that it kind of had a lasting effect over time, which is that's pretty cool.
John, I'm amazed you read that entire entry. When I get to a page and a half entry, I just skip it.
Jono reads all the entries.
I read every fucking entry.
I mean,
What's funny
I
is when I
skim
first
it.
started reading this fucking glossary, I was like, all right, well, I'll just skip this one. Well, it's an Aes Sedai. I'll read it. It's 2 paragraphs. I'll read this one. Well, it's 2 sentences. I'm going to read it. So I read every goddamn one of them.
Well,
Admittedly-
I have learned as we've gone to H, like if I skip one and then you bring it up, I'm like, holy shit, that was hilarious. Why didn't I read that? So I have started to read them all, but like if they're too long, it just seems like a scientific process. And I'm like,
100 arms, and why there's not a dash.
Okay, I gotta take this one. I think we should come back to healing because I need to read through the whole thing.
Okay, well, let's go right above it to healers.
What we got?
Interesting.
One, people with a
apparently
knowledge of natural
the
healing
Shanshan know
methods.
more about healing from a non-1 power usage. The Shanshan know more about healing than those in, I hate the term, random.
They just have better doctors. I think
You use
is what you're
West
saying.
Science.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they,
I always
they
say
have
West
better
Side.
doctors. Like, did we ever see that? Why is that noted here?
No, I don't think we ever see that, but I think it's kind of understood that they have like a more modern
Well,
view of things. sort
when
of.
they say a healer could be male or female, there were about equal numbers of each. Oh, there's natural healing methods. Okay.
And it makes sense because they don't have legitimate, like, healing from a 1 power source. They kind of weeded that out unintentionally. But
It's natural that they have doctors though, basically, because they don't have Aes Sedai healers unless that's a Damani.
Oh, interesting. So
So they're trained as
They don't have
weapons,
it in the
really.
Two Rivers. They don't have it like they don't have it in the middle of Amadicea or Amadicea.
Amadicchio, that's what you said it right.
Yeah, it's like it's not natural necessarily, but they just do.
Hadn't thought about that idea that because they don't fear that you can channel at all. So
Yeah.
Basically, can try all sorts of stuff because no one's going to believe if something happens that it must have been science because it couldn't have been the one power. So
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
It was weeded out early on.
Okay, this one's a good one. 328.
Okay.
The hook. That's what it is. Hook, a ridge, so called because of its shape near Tarvalon. Like what? I want to know.
Interesting.
I want to know if Alan was like, this one is for tWoTcast.
This is very important. It's just for Matt. It's just for
But it was for Hano. That's what I think. So.
Yeah. Just add
When
it
did
in
this
here for
book come
Hano.
out? When did this book come out?
I feel I was like, what is the? It's just like it's a
2015.
ridge. It's one singular ridge in the world near Tarvalon, and they called it the hook, and it's here in this book, which I think is amazing.
I mean, it's just there for Hano, and it was definitely put there by Alan for sure. Alan and Jono have a weird bond. It's very disturbing.
You're just you're the origin story of Alan. Hano.
I am. Alan is first off. How dare you? The hook apparently is from New Spring, according to a quick search here. Alan,
and why was it in this companion? Because he knew you would
because
read
it happened
from cover to cover, and you're the only one that cares.
Man, I'm sure there's others who care. Yes, Alan though is what I aspire to be when I grow older.
But there's people in chat like I remembered that from New Spring. Man, that is amazing. That's some hardcore fan freak stuff.
Not of the Fish Hook Ridge of the Battle of Gettysburg. Okay.
Nice job, Elfwitch. There's so much stuff I clearly. Yeah, look, Rhett knows that it was a chapter in New Spring. Did you guys just look that up? Because
yeah, I did. That's what I did.
Didn't know.
Did you guys?
I was with you, Matt. I thought Alan just added it for Jono.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
Did you guys tell Matt about Alan from the letter A episode? I wanted to make sure we got it in before he left us for the evening. Matt, if you go to page 34 and look at Ajimbura.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
If you go to our A episode, Alan tells like a 35-minute story about the origins of this guy. And I highly recommend going back and listening to this story.
Harriet and Jim's bizarre gardener. Basically.
Yes, it is worth your time.
Oh my god! It's the most huge. This is a big entry, man.
Yeah.
Like Alan said some stories about like the time that apparently like they tried to put Jim on or Robert Jordan on a vegetarian diet, and like someone stuck into the house, and like apparently there was like this like quasi like I'm gonna eat him episode, not really, but someone like had just snuck onto the grounds. It was a very entertaining email to read. It's just
he was eaten alive by rats.
No, he wasn't eaten alive.
Ajimbura was
overrun while trying to call one out for his lunch from a huge swarm of dark ones attacking. What
Dan
is
Huff
this?
is Alice's
Like I
favorite
swear,
minor
some of these
character.
things they just added, man. They just were like
No. You have to go back and listen to Alan's story about this guy. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's nuts. Like, and that's like again to Tom's point. That's why we fucking wanted to do this.
Yeah.
We barely got through the A's because Alan would talk to his friend.
Oh yeah, I was like, we should probably do another A episode.
three answers by Alan would have been like
Yeah. It was. We didn't cover a lot.
Well, we'll recover the A's when we do the companion again.
Oh yeah,
With Alan
we'll
Musk.
reread.
The
Reread
Re
of the
companion podcast. The Re companion podcast.
I still can't get over 100 legs, an insect with numerous legs.
How many? 7.
Like I can't get over that one. That one's amazing.
Did you finish reading the healing one yet? You don't need.
No, man. I was just reading Ajimbura. That's what I was reading.
I want to go to page 325. I would like to talk about what's one of Joe's favorite entries besides his own penis.
Is everyone else out there with a book? Like, I hope everyone else out there watching right now has a book in hand and are turning to these pages with it.
I should hope so, man.
If they don't, they should buy one and buy them for their friends.
Yeah, have you bought this for a friend yet? I should go buy one for a friend so I can be like, yeah, like I just did.
Yeah, I need that artwork money. I need those checks to stack up.
Do you get any royalties? Never mind, I shouldn't ask that on the show.
From what?
The Tom image is one of my paintings.
Do I get royalties from reading?
No, it's not. Joe's got like one of his pictures is in there.
Oh,
so what's on 320?
One of your pictures in the big white book?
No, it's in this book.
What?
It's a Tom Maryland, buddy.
Where's your picture in this? Are you serious?
Tom Maryland, yeah.
Are you messing with me? I didn't do anything.
We'll cover it in the T's.
Joe, we're obviously not glossing over this. Matt's not.
The T is silent.
And why would it?
It's Tom Maryland.
Dude, I gotta go find it.
It's not good. Let's not do it.
Everyone turn. Tom, you got a picture in here? Are you getting like
46?
Have you made?
Yeah, that's why I jokingly said let's all go buy the book.
Yeah, how much money you made off this thing?
69.
I'll tell you, 37 cents so far.
Nice, dude.
You better fucking claim that on your Georgia taxes.
It's an awesome claim to fame.
Also, that's where
it's the only claim to fame. Thank you.
How did we get to the T? We get to the T's, the A's.
It's
Taham. I see. I understand.
Taham, Maryland.
Hey, Jono, I just realized that we have a person on the show that's an entry in the book, a person on the show that has art in the book, and we had the writer and editor of the book on the show, and you and me are just here just jerking off.
Yeah,
guess what?
Me and Matt are hanging out with a couple of dickheads. That's true.
I'll tell you what, I've come twice, so fuck you guys.
Yeah. Can't believe I'm here.
Yeah.
I mean, Jonathan comes.
How have we not talked about this one? This one makes me sad that we haven't got this up yet. Turn to page 328, everybody. I know we got captivated by the hook, and that was why we missed this one.
Yeah, that's why.
It was just under the hook. It was Hopper. Hopper, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
An old,
we're not here to cry.
With whom parents had a special connection. He was black and gray with long white teeth and yellow eyes, a scarred and grizzled fighter with thick, rough, shaggy fur. He was impassive with knowledge of the years, old but full of guile, and devoted to dapple his pack. These are amazing entries, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't read the last
or
one.
Like an eagle when he was young. His left eye was pecked out by ravens, and then he was killed by white cloaks. He continued to meet with Perrin in the wolf dream, often chasing Perrin. Is this spoiler? This is a spoiler-full podcast, right?
Oh yeah, super.
Okay.
Yeah.
We said it at the top of the show, but you know.
Dream for his own safety and teaching Perrin how to manipulate and survive the wolf dream. He was
Don't
killed.
read it.
He was killed. He was killed, everybody, in the wolf dream by Slayer. So there's the final answer. Final answer.
I'm gonna cry.
I tell you, I think I said it 11 years ago. There's some like when Hopper first got his eye pecked out, and the way it was described as like there was something wrong with his eye, and like the way they just kind of kept on going. I still remember being like just grossed out and just kind of like uncomfortable for what's an awesome friend already, and like what a great wolf man he was. But on that note, let's go
awesome
to
wolf man he was.
Old. I mean, we got to do it.
Nope. I'm moving to page 325.
All right.
Screw you, Slayer. Yeah, I agree. Also, how spectacular was that death of Slayer? That was like, I think that was the most cinematic and amazing thing ever.
Yeah, if they could ever get that on screen.
I thought, you know who the best death was?
With more of a budget.
Perrin killing him as a wolf simultaneously, basically as a human, flickering in and out of the wolf dream at that rapid pace is like,
it's pretty badass.
Frozen in my brain. I love that scene.
It's pretty badass. You know what else was awesome though? Peyton Fane's death.
Hold on. At page 328. Is it? This is a this page keeps giving.
They all
And-
do,
and-
if you really look into
I
it.
fucking hate it. Go on.
Literally,
This is a.
Anas just said, Innkeeper keeps finding new entries, like, so excited. It's only one letter.
It's like my favorite new thing. Thank you.
Hey Matt, we were kidding when we were like, you can come back next week for Innkeeper, but do you kind of want to?
I do. This is amazing. So Holcomb.
Yeah.
Oh, Holcomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, Holcomb is what we call each
Yeah.
other.
I know.
Holcomb.
I know you were going to be excited about this one, Jono. Get ready. A messenger for Gareth Byrne at the last battle. He was spindly with a face like a horse. That's
That's whores. You said that weird, man.
horse. Holcomb. Yeah, that's.
It's supposed to be Holcum.
What I'm
He was
realizing.
spindly with a face like a horse.
What I'm realizing is this stuff is probably all in the books, but I didn't care at all. For
Those
it.
are the details that you're like,
I'm like, who's
you
that?
blur past.
Who's that NPC? I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, you
Get
move
me
past.
to get me to Varen and Lanfear and Min and Rand, whatever. But I missed the spindly dude with a face like a horse, and I'm appreciating. I'm here for it now.
I mean, it's
Weird
fantastic. It's a
combo
good
of
time.
like too much information and too little information all put together,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm sure he had more than like it was like Holcomb ran over to do this, Holcomb ran over to do this, Holcomb looked like a piece of shit with a horse's face. But like, in reality, all it gets
Look
is
at those
like,
spindly arms as he runs.
yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. 328 just keeps it giving everybody.
Who
So,
has
I mean,
Bella's
it's-
face? No one. We said whores face.
Oh,
The
all right.
the
Back
whole
on
book
top.
is gold. Okay.
Page 325.
I
Joe's
think we've always been on
favorite
top.
entry.
325. You keep telling. You've said my favorite entry like 3 times tonight.
Wait,
Yeah,
I
well, we
have
haven't-
one. I have one for you. Can we skip? I'm just kidding, John.
It's-
Go ahead, John.
Heartleaf.
Oh yeah, it's a herb. That's pronounced with an H. I don't know if you guys knew that. Prepared in tea, possibly to prevent pregnancy. Wait, beforehand or after? Is it Plan B?
How does this
Plan
come
B,
up in
I
the
was
book?
going to ask you about Plan BT. It's Plan BT.
His brother
It's-
Halfcom never quite lived up to the expectations.
Where's this? Where did I miss this?
Holcomb and Halfcom. Luke, Ice, Jedi.
Where is
You've
that is
crushed
real
it.
thing. Hold on.
By
I feel like
far
this is like-
the best.
I feel like this is like half written by Alan for Jono. That's what I
Matt
feel.
Halfcome's not actually in the book.
I would have believed it.
It's not like his name was Matt Halfcomb.
I would believe most entries that
Oh,
you could
man.
that are random at this point. I feel like you guys could just make up entries and post them, and they'd be amazing.
We have not
I
done
can't
that.
wait.
It's very
I have-
irresponsible.
I have an entry that nobody needs to flip to. It's just page 316. It's Hake Samuel, and I just wrote almost. We got to wait for the S's. John.
Oh, he loves those farm boys. You know what I mean? Just really loves
Who
them.
doesn't?
I like on 325. We've got Heartseeker. That is the wolf's name for Grendel. Do they have names for every Forsaken and why?
Not all of them, no. I think that she was specifically into wolf fucking.
I was going to say, anytime they've had an interaction with one of them, they have a name for it, you know?
And?
I just think it's intriguing. They all have
And that interaction was
wolf
wolf
names.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, man.
You want more rapid fire? I have Havian on page 320.
Hold on a second.
I just put
Anas
criminally
said,
underrated.
so what's Joe's favorite entry? And Fart Vader said it's got to be Anas. I mean, come on, that's the best. That's the best thing we've ever had.
That was pretty
What's-
amazing.
What's funnier, the comment or the name?
the name. The name.
Oh my god!
Darth Vader brings a lot of
Guys, we're
Plus,
pushing
to the way
We're-
that Darth Vader breathes.
Even if you have a high pitched one, it's going to come out really deep.
That's not his mouth.
No.
Um,
No.
So I was talking earlier when I fucked it up because I had forgotten my names and a lot of other conventions. On 329, Howl Goat.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
do-
right. You wanted
I
to
said
talk
most
about
of this earlier, but it still is one of the most suspenseful things in the first book, and it's also really just fucked up, obviously, from a not just say reading the book point of view, but as you kind of dial it out and look, oh, it's a dude trying to kidnap. And,
that section of the books was covered in season 1, but it's a shame because I would have loved to see like a Dark Prin that tried to kill them and
better
was just a burned carcass in Rand's dream or something. Would have been amazing.
Well, now we know for sure. Like we saw the carcass in the dream, but it was presented by the Alzamon the Liar, because we always saw some shadowy figure shaking his fist at them as they ran away. Now we know for sure it was Ape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Entry made it definitive.
This is a fantastic comment from Drap. Love how we're all laughing, but when we don't, we hear Tom's crickets.
That's why
Tom's background is basically designed for silences on the show.
Yeah,
we're all quietly flipping through books. It's just literal crickets.
That's why I do it. That's why I do it outside. If your jokes don't land, you're gonna know it.
Okay, 329. Horns. Horns is the name.
Another name for what they call
troops called Trollocs resembling goats. Horns.
Yeah.
Horns is what
the
Trollocs resembling goats.
That's it? Oh, it's just a nickname for goat Trollocs?
Horns. Yeah,
okay.
There's like the Horn of Valir, but then you have horns, which is
the more important entry, I think.
It's a strange nickname to give to a Trolloc that resembles a goat. Horn.
It's also interesting that it's just within his army. Like you feel like it would be more common.
But it's like the plural Trollocs. So horn, like you have a horn, but then you're also calling a Trolloc that's like a goat a horn.
Yeah. I got a question for you guys. Why wouldn't you call them goats?
Horn is what they decided to call them apparently. So
I mean,
fuck the horns.
Tom, that's too logical for me.
The horns are 8 feet tall at least. You're not gonna be able to easily have sex with them, Tom.
Hooray for Trolloc nicknames. Should have been hornies.
I almost texted you today asking where the fuck you've been lately.
Trolloc Talk's here, everybody.
I feel like when people do like a moat of pikes or whatever, that's when you send out the goat Trollocs to just eat them.
Yeah. Just gnawing on the.
Do you think if you just like
they broke through?
Like,
just a bunch of horns, I guess.
Yeah. Or at the horns, if you throw some like flowers and things like that at the horns, they'll just get like, oh, look, something else for me to gnaw on. They just kill them easily.
Do you guys feel like there's any chance we've exhausted the H's at this point?
I think so. I've almost said best podcaster this week like 10 times.
I feel like I've made it through what is relevant to the H's. I'm actually more about like the G's or the I's at this point. But
we're gonna have to come back for the I's, Matt.
Yeah.
A through C is like 250 pages. It's like a third of the book. So good luck.
Jono was lying. He didn't text me.
No, I said almost.
Oh, almost.
I would never text a Trolloc. Jesus.
Yeah, that would be weird. Also, how do they use the phone?
Guess what? They're not goat hooves.
Yeah, the only Trollocs that can use, or monkey Trollocs, are the only ones that can use the phone because they have opposable thumbs.
Yeah, horn hooves like that guy.
But this is what I've learned. This is what I learned from this is the next time I see something in the show that I disagree with, I'm going to look up the Wheel of Time companion first before I disagree.
Before you judge
There's so much stuff in this book where I'm like the show could have been like, yeah, they called the Trollocs horns, and I've been like, these guys are idiots.
Like, what are they doing on this show?
Horns?
Oh, it's in here. Here.
Why would you ever call them horns? Like they literally like pointed out in the show, like it was called the Hook. Like who comes up with the dumbest name, the Hook, for a ridge?
I mean, it depends.
And now I know I have to check it in the Wheel of Time companion because there's some crazy crap in that book, man. That's some good stuff. I appreciate you bringing it.
All of it driven from the real text of the Wheel of Time, which you should have read a little more tlosely.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'd start.
That's tWoTcast for this week. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below, and in theory, we'll get better at responding to them.
No, we won't.
You can listen to the audio version of this show wherever you get your podcasts. tWoTcast theme songs brought to you by the one and only Taffy Bennington and also Andrew Bard of Time. We love him to death.
He's the man.
He does our outro song. Thank you to our guest, Harriet who is not here anymore, but we did say thank you earlier. But
That was incredible.
you know,
That was so much fun.
Harriet's the
That's a
best.
quick Kegel exercise. Which one of you guys gets Harriet on the show? Oh, it's this guy? It's that guy? Yeah. Oh,
That was
I
me.
keep looking the wrong direction? Yeah.
I think the real star of today's show were the crickets.
I agree. Yeah. It really rounds out the show,
One of
gives
my
it some ambiance. You know.
I'm pretty sure the real star of today's show was the letter H.
Yeah, that's
Good
right.
point. Yeah.
Thanks for being on the show, Matt. If
This
you
is my
guys don't
favorite.
know who Matt is, I don't understand why. And also go watch the Dusty Wheel. Links to his show is below. Not that you need it.
Tomorrow, we're going to be on tomorrow and Thursday. We're going to have a show about becoming Elaine Tracon and talking about
Oh.
Kira Coveney's
Explain that.
career. Explain it to you, John?
Yeah,
Explain
please.
it.
This is something you know well. But anyways, yeah. We're doing a show about Kira Coveney, the actor who's been cast to play Elaine. And we're going to be talking about her career and whether or not we believe she will do a good job becoming Elaine.
I was
Alright.
fascinated more by just the idea.
That's
of
tomorrow. Well,
becoming-
didn't you have something on Thursday too?
Yeah.
We do. Thursday, we're going to go live at 7 p.m. Eastern. And just be around if any news drops out of the San Diego Comic-Con about the
Gotcha.
origin stories.
Oh,
I guess
yeah, I can't wait.
Rafe Daniel Henney. Is it? I think it's Rami Park
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Mike Weber are going to be on that one, and they'll be talking about origin stories. So we're going to talk about origin stories that they already produced while we're waiting to see if any news comes out of that. We have a fan that's going to be in the audience there and be sending us kind of some summaries of what's happening. So
Oh, okay, cool.
we'll review those as information comes out. So yeah, come join us Wednesday or Thursday.
A question for you.
Yes.
Yes, Jono.
How do you do everything? Like, you just seem to be ubiquitous, always working. And, like, I assume you're not impoverished considering the beautiful wooden back door behind you, or back, not
Backdrop.
Yeah, backdrop.
You too can have that backdrop from Home Depot for $16.
I'll tell you what, I got $16.
Just-
Fuck this map.
I know it looks really expensive.
Yeah, get rid of that. Get rid of that map.
but it's an
Worst.
everyman wall. Is all I'm saying. It's an everyman wall. So,
It's just a virtual background, apparently. I won't pay 16. I'll pay 14 for a virtual background.
Matt, thanks for
let's
being
do this.
on. You're amazing.
thank
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Thank you,
Love
man.
your enthusiasm for the weirder entries. That was always a pleasure.
It was so
I
good.
say that to my wife every night.
Join us next episode for more Wheel of Time covering the companion, the letter I. And who knows who we'll have on? I don't know. Maybe the Innkeeper Matt will come back with the Innkeeper Jason Denzel. Who knows? I'm Joe.
If you get Jason on, you have to make sure that you tell him your favorite entry is for Innkeeper Hatch this time.
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, those aren't in the age. Those aren't in the eyes. They're in
Doesn't
the
matter. You can
Yeah,
still tell
sorry.
him that.
Why would we tell them something that's irrelevant?
I'm
Hi,
Joe saying good night, Jono.
Good night, Jono.
And
See y'all.
Tom.
study your math.
Keep the change, you filthy animals.
Among the first to start, the tWoTcast was so smart to lovingly bash our favorite books. But that was long ago, and now they've grown the show, and now they got us in their hooks. Don't throw coins to these bastards, they need bars of gold at least. Someone please keep them afloat. Now let's listen as they once again ramble through a book. Let's get the fucking quote. One of them is Tom, but he is barely on. Sometimes he calls into the show. Another one is Jono. Is he their joker? Oh no. And Joe, is he the stupid one? Welcome to the tWoTcast. We will share our love for books and all our hate in every episode. We'll entertain you, make you laugh so hard you barely can stand up. That is the tWoTcast code.